Well, hey guys, welcome back to my shop. My name is Dema, and in this episode I'm going to show you how to take a scrap piece of wood that would normally be thrown away into the trash to make a unique and elegant fountain pen. Now this piece came from Cremona's build of the secretary desk. This is the part where he cut out of the arch for one of the doors. It's got a whole bunch of rot here that normally is useless, but we're going to make a really nice pen out of it by casting the voids with resin. So join me in the fun. So of course, for this project to work, you obviously need some type of a scrap wood, such as this, what I have here. You're going to need some type of a resin. For my case, I'm going to be using Alumilite clear, which is a two-part resin that's 50-50 ratio. And you need a pressure pot that's capable of at least 45 pounds per square inch. The one I'm using is a Harbor Freight pressure pot. And I've got more info on a pot and the setup that I have, and I'll have a link to that video down in the description. So the first thing I need to do is make this into a mold. Now, you could cut this into strips and then put it into a plastic mold. In my case, I don't want it to fall apart, so I want it to stay the way it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some duct tape to create an artificial mold. So I'm just going to tape off the bottom, tape off the side to create a pocket for the resin to kind of flow into, and that will be good enough for a mold in my case. So there you go, the duct tape has created a pocket for the resin to stay in. There's a certain formula you could follow to figure out how much resin you actually need for the space that you have. Now, because it's all jagged and rotted, there really is no calculation you could do which is going to give me a perfect amount of resin. So I would rather make extra than not enough to cast this. So I'm just going to estimate how much resin I need. Now you want to make sure the two-part ratio is very, very accurate because if it's not accurate, you might have some failure in the resin. So now I'm just going to add some colorant and then mix it thoroughly, making sure that it's mixed very well. Once it's all mixed and you're ready to go, you can go ahead and pour it into your mold or into your rotted piece. Now make sure that it's completely submerged and you've got no empty spots, because those empty spots will be a void in your blank. So now that we got a resin poured, we put it in our pressure pot. Now at this point you want to go ahead and pressurize your pressure pot. Now you want to make sure that you let the air into the pot really slowly because you don't want the resin to just spray all over the place. Now my pressure pot is rated for 60 psi. You want to make sure you don't want to exceed your pressure pot rating, so be aware of that. I'm not responsible for any damages to you or your health. So there we go, we got it at 60 psi, so now all we do is wait for the resin to cure. Now Alumilite recommends a 2-hour demold time for the Alumilite clear, but I usually leave it in there a little bit longer to make sure that it sets properly and I won't have any issues down the road. So I'm going to leave this in the pot and we'll come back when it's fully cured.
So this is a really cool pen, and I'm really impressed with what Dema's able to do with just a simple piece of wood that was pretty much garbage for me. I mean, in my shop, that'd be right in the scrap bin, and it's exactly where I found it when I gave it to him. So it's really cool that you can take a piece of wood that you think is worth nothing and either do this yourself if you have the equipment to do that, so you can do it with a pen, or you can make some other cool project part, maybe like a pull for your drawers or whatever. That's another great idea. But don't second guess your ability to use an old piece of wood that might not be worth anything, and it can give it a nice second life. So thanks for watching. Have fun in your shop. Be safe doing it.